Alright, y'all. This is my last weekend in this office. I'm gonna be honest, I'm really sad. I have really enjoyed this space so much. Hi, sweetie. So this entire space is getting packed up and shipped off to Georgia on Monday. Today is Friday. So I've got all my romance books down here with all the books I've written right there. When I was working on poetry, I had got a bunch of poetry books for examples and thoughts, so those are all there. And then you can't see it, but right under there are all the original manuscripts for every book I've written. I've got all of the notebooks I'm currently working in right now. My computer, which we're actually going to ship to Georgia separately to my sister, so that I can have access to it sooner rather than later. And my printer. I used to go to FedEx every time I needed to print my manuscript. And finally I was like, you know what? I'm just going to buy a printer. I've got all of my journals. These are all empty journals. And once I move to Georgia and everything's unpacked, I think I'm going to do like a notebook journal haul, a talk through of everything that's there. And then over here, I've got all my professional development books. And then down here at the bottom, you can kind of see it. Down in there are all the proof copies right there. The proof copies of all of my books. And then this is the messiest part of my office. This is where everything goes when I don't want to think about it. So originally, this was a stationary table, and instead it has become a place for me to shove everything when I'm trying to organize my office. So I've got all of my packing supplies down here, little swag pieces. Those little boxes are full of stickers. All of these are full of note cards because I love snail mail. And then I've got some photo and signing supplies back there, as well as some stuff up here for storage. And then I've got my Kanban board and my consistently empty words for Cedar Point. I'm still low on that baby. But yeah, this is my space. It's all gonna be going soon. And I'm really sad. But it's been a really wonderful office for the years that I've been in here. It has changed many times in the way that I've organized it. And I just need to be positive and excited about the office I'll be moving into in Georgia. It's a lot saying goodbye to this space. My office is empty. Well, it's not completely empty, obviously. We've got my computer boxes, which my husband and I have held on to our computers, and we're going to ship them separately to my sister. And then we've got a bunch of suitcases and a bookshelf and my stationery table that we're going to be donating or getting rid of. But other than that, I'm literally sitting on the floor. There's nothing in my office. I feel like this was a really special space for me. I can't say, this was the space I wrote my first book, because technically I wrote my first book in New Zealand. I was living in New Zealand and working full time. I didn't have an office. This one had to come in. Hi, baby. Want to be friends? Want to be in the video? It's so important to be in a video. This space means a lot to me. It's the first time that I told myself, I believe in myself enough. I believe in my writing enough to dedicate space to it, to not have it be a hobby or something I just pick up, just pick up my laptop and just do it wherever. And I realize there's an element of privilege in saying that because I had the capability of giving myself a dedicated space, and not everybody has a space in their home to do that. So I definitely acknowledge that. But, saying to myself, I'm going to make this real. I'm going to make this real, and I'm going to dedicate myself to writing and to becoming, the best author that I can it feels like a big deal. And saying goodbye to it, saying goodbye to a space that houses so many memories, so many decisions. I got my first royalty check, and when I was in this office, from when I had my audiobooks picked up by a company, and they actually had to contact me to remind me to deposit it because I was so excited about it. I left it on my desk because I was like, I'm gonna put this in a frame, I'm gonna put it up in my office, and I never deposited the check. I've told that story before. It's still funny to me, but I was invited to be a part of my first book box in this office, my first anthology in this office. I wrote some of my favorite characters here. I wrote my book of poetry here. And, each of my stories, I talk about this, each of my stories has pieces of my husband. And so there's a lot of reflection about my own relationship in this space and, the marriage that I'm so happy in. And it's just, there was a lot of words written here, a lot of ups and downs, and I am going to be sad to say goodbye to it. And it will be different setting up an office in our new house and putting my computer in a new space and creating a new routine on East Coast time. I am not ready for that. It'll be different, and I'm nervous, but I'm also excited. One of the things I thought I would do is take a couple of minutes to share a little bit about my new office space and what that will look like. First of all, we have the pictures of what my office space looked like when we first bought the house. You can see that there are bright yellow walls and there's these 2 doors with closets. And the reason for it is that this particular space was an add-on. There was a garage that was enclosed, and they built on a new garage, which is underneath this room. And then this loft space that's where my office is going to be. And the ceiling is A-frame. And so these closets are designed to be storage space so that it's kind of usable. But for me and the purposes of me utilizing this space, I'm a person who loves to have bookshelves and cover my walls and things. So our plan was to eliminate these 2 closets, get rid of the doors, and push the walls back until about the 5-foot mark, so that because the little triangle area inside of that closet, that it wouldn't really be usable, but the wall could definitely be usable. And then the other piece is eliminating the staircase. And the staircase goes down into the garage. It takes up so much floor space and just didn't feel really usable or functional. Let me pull up some construction photos of the process and what it has looked like. You can see the difference in the paint color for where the walls were and how it's been pushed back. And it might not seem like that big of a deal, but I am super excited because it just makes it a usable space. Otherwise, it would just be doors that I can't do anything with. You can see where the frame has been pushed back and then switch to this other photo, and you can see where the floor was, you know, sealed up and underneath the stairs were removed. And the stairs, where the stairs were, is now becoming a storage closet in our basement. Not basement, we don't have a basement, in our garage, and a space for like our lawnmower and Christmas decorations, stuff like that. Well, thank you everyone for going through all of that with me, all of the packing and the saying goodbye to this space and reflecting on some of the fun things that have happened here. I will be excited to share a new video when we move to Georgia in just a few weeks of my new office space and all the things that I'm gonna do with it, because you better believe I have plans. I have plans. Thank you so much for watching this video and taking a trip with me down memory lane. I'd love for you to hit the thumbs up or subscribe button if you felt like you got a little bit of value out of this, or if you'd like to learn more about my life as an author. Feel free to put a comment in the comment section if you have any questions or thoughts about saying goodbye to an office, or any suggestions you might have. We still have a few weeks left in the house before we officially say goodbye. So if you have any thoughts on a way to maybe commemorate this space or give it its due thankfulness, that would be wonderful. All right, everyone, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.